Hello, my friends, and welcome to the very first session of Divine Musings with Mystic B. So these sessions I want to try and do regularly on a Friday. Something a little bit different every week. This week, for example, we are going to be doing three. I've done three groups, so I've done group 1, group 2, and group 3. And what we're actually going to do is you can go ahead and choose a group you would like to hear the reading of uh, and have that in your mind as I do this session today. But what we'll be doing essentially is a 3-card reading of what I need to know, what do I need to know, what needs to grow, and what needs to go, basically. So I was only going to do it just a one for the collective, but I thought I would turn it into a pick a group reading or pick a pile reading for everyone. So and it's pre-recorded, so if you want to skip ahead to your group, that is fine too. But at the end of each little reading, I'm also I've drawn a Namaste blessing and divination card just for a little bit of extra guidance for every group. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do group 1. So yeah, just take a moment before we get started actually, and maybe close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and think about which pile you think has the messages you need today. So we have pile number 1, we have pile number 2, and we have pile number 3. Now, I apologize. I am recording this in my bedroom today because I have one of my children home from school, and they have taken over the lounge room and they are watching a movie, and I wouldn't be able to concentrate and do this if I sat in there at the same time as her. So yeah, I have a little bit more peace and quiet here. So hopefully you all have which group you would like to hear today, and we're going to go ahead and get started with group number 1. So let's find out firstly for those that chose group number 1 or pile number 1, what do I need to know? So today the guidance for what you need to know is listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. So yeah, really listen to those messages that come to you with situations and people where you feel your heart is giving you guidance, and trust those messages that you receive from your heart, because listening with your heart is going to be important for you at this time. So that is what you need to know. Let's find out what pile 1 or group 1 needs, what needs to grow. So let's have a look. And we have manifesting dreams. My dreams are coming true. So when we think of manifesting, right, it's like abundance, right? It's dreams and wishes coming to fruition through our actions. So yeah, what needs to grow? That's a fantastic card to get for what needs to grow, is manifesting our dreams and dreams coming true, needing to grow. This gives me a really good vibe that whatever you've been trying to manifest lately, yeah, it's right on track. So, and it's going to grow for you. So manifesting dreams and dreams coming true. So that's fantastic. Let's find out what needs to go. So remember, with every reading, we're going to do what we need to know, what needs to grow, and what needs to go. It's a bit of a tongue twister. All right, so what needs to go? We have got stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. So what needs to go? Stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Okay, so I feel like with this card, we are getting the guidance. What needs to go is, I'm getting the feeling things have been a little bit, perhaps a little bit crazy and overwhelming. That kind of energy has been going on in your life recently. So that needs, that kind of energy, that crazy, hyper, overwhelming, too much to do, always in a hurry energy needs to go. And we need to be stepping into the stillness a little bit and giving ourselves a little bit of a rest from all of that go, go, go energy. So that is the guidance that is coming through for pile number one, group number one at this time, for what we need to know, what needs to grow and what needs to go. And now we are going to get your Namaste Blessing and Divination card guidance for pile number one, group number one, and we have a blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason, and all involved will benefit. So that is the energy coming through here. That's been coming through or is about to come through, that we need to actually go through, but in the end it is going to pass and we'll be stepping into that stillness. So and also it talks about a blessing coming from that upheaval. So this is a guidance for pile number one, group number one, for our first session of Divine Musings with Mystic B. And we are going to go on to group number two, pile number two now. All right, let's have a look. So if you chose pile number two, group number two, let's have a look what we need to know. All right, we have communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. So communicating honestly, communicating freely, communicating authentically, saying what's on your mind, saying what's on your heart, saying what needs to be said, and not holding anything back. And I feel like there's also, I got the word honesty coming through here with this card and this guidance. So if you're communicating honestly, I feel like that will be how you can communicate freely, and that is going to be how your communication will be, you'll be able to communicate in the best way possible by being those things. Not holding back, not hiding anything, no keeping secrets. What you need to know right now, group two, pile two, is I communicate from the depths of my being. So real honest communication at this time is what you need to know. All right, let's find out what needs to grow. And we have Cherishing Self. Oh, I love this card. How beautiful. I accept and love myself. So a real sense of treating yourself and self-love. So that includes, things like nourishing yourself properly, making sure that, and sometimes even treating yourself, but making sure, you're hydrating yourself as well. I've got some flowers here in a present. So maybe even, you think of others a lot and you do a lot for other people most of the time. Sometimes we can forget ourselves. So what needs to grow is a real sense of, at this time anyway, treating yourself and spoiling yourself and cherishing yourself. So, whether that's, buying yourself some nice flowers for your home, or actually buying something you've had your eye on for a long time that you keep sort of saying, no, this and this and this, I need these things first, etc. Maybe spoil yourself at this time is what needs to grow. That sense of loving yourself too, and that sense of worthiness, and being deserving of the same things that you give to others. So that is what needs to grow at this time. Group 2, pile 2. And now let's see what needs to go. And we have trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided. So I'm getting the sense that perhaps you haven't been trusting your intuition a lot lately, and you've just been kind of going with how do we describe it? So sometimes we can go with the decisions from our heart, and sometimes we go with the decisions from our head. Trusting your intuition, perhaps what needs to go is that sense of not trusting those feelings, and that you need to trust your intuition more, because sometimes we can feel like our intuition is just because it's not tangible and we can't feel it, we can't hold on to it, it's not a physical thing. Sometimes it's hard to trust things like that and believe in things like that, but you're really being guided at this time to listen to and trust your intuition, because as it says here, my life is truly guided. So what needs to go is that non-trust, and start trusting in your intuition a whole lot more. All right, there are your 3 messages. Group 2, pile 2. Now let's see what your Namaste Blessing and Divination card says. And it says, a blessed time. The path is clear and all obstacles have vanished. Your time of waiting is over, so proceed with confidence. The challenges you have faced were essential, but there is a perfect time for everything. Now is your perfect time to be blessed by the universe. I love that. So that is your guidance for our Divine Musings session, pile 2, group 2. I hope some of those messages resonated, or they do resonate in the next little while. All right, let's move on to pile number 3, group number 3. Okay, so let's find out for you guys that chose this pile what you need to know. And we have standing firm. I am noble, brave, and strong. So right off the bat, I get the feeling that there is a certain situation where you are really needing to stand firm and stand your ground and sort of, put your flag in the ground and say, this is how I feel about this, and I'm not changing my mind, and you're not going to, nothing's going to make me change my mind. This is my belief, this is how I feel, and yeah. I get the feeling you're going to have to do this. Stand firm in your beliefs and what you believe in. I am noble, brave, and strong. So, there is a guidance that you need to know, pile 3, group 3, at this time. So let's now find out what needs to grow. And we have renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. So, and you can see this person is getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of things that don't serve. So what needs to grow is that real sense of renewal in your life, and receiving that sense of vitality again by getting rid of things that no longer serve. And that can include, it can include a whole range of things. It can literally include physical stuff around you, clearing out your spaces and areas, homes, car, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that over the weekend. But anyway, it can also include, looking at your, close relationships, important relationships, and just giving them a bit of a check over and seeing, is this relationship, and that can be friends, family, romantic relationships, whatever, any kind of relationships, is this relationship serving me at my highest levels, or does it need to go, or does it need to change, or can I inject a little bit of renewed energy into that to make it work better for me? So it can include physical stuff, and it can include relationships, things that are going on in your life, like career. Look at what you do for a job. Is it really serving you? Is it what you really love? There's just a whole range of things you can look at and kind of do a bit of a check-in and see what's serving and what's not. So that sense of renewal in your life and injecting that vitality back into your life is what needs to grow. So look at look at what needs to go and what needs to stay, and make those decisions so that and I feel like a real sense of there's going to be abundance that comes from doing this, from growing your sense of renewal and getting rid of what doesn't serve, because at the end of the day, you're making space for better things to come into your life. That is what needs to grow for group number 3, pile number 3. Now let's find out what needs to go. I kind of feel like the clutter needs to go, but let's see. It says, following your bliss. My soul sings with joy. So I get the sense perhaps you have not been following your bliss fully lately, and so what needs to go is probably, I feel like it's all of those, well, not all of, because sometimes there are things we need to do every day that we just have to do, basic things we have to do that aren't so pleasant, but must be done. And they don't necessarily make our soul sing, but there are other things that we probably do that we don't really think about every day, that don't make us feel joyous or make our soul sing. You know what I mean? So what needs to go is, again, we're being asked to do a check-in, and these two messages really go together with the what needs to grow and what needs to go. And they're really all about doing a check-in on your whole life, and finding out what serves and what doesn't, and what makes your soul sing and brings you bliss and what doesn't. So yeah, again, what needs to go, do a check-in, and all those things that we sometimes maybe, I know for me, and this is a while ago now, I stopped literally watching television and sitting down and watching movies and stuff like that. But yeah, and that was kind of like a mindless thing. I would sit down and just do it without even thinking, like that's what you do at the end of the day. And so perhaps, that's true for you as well. There's some things that you sit down and you do at the end of the day, or whenever your relaxed time is, that aren't really, they're not bringing you any sort of sense of joy or what's the word? They're not productive. They're not in alignment with your soul's growth, if that makes any sense. So what needs to go is all the things that aren't making your soul sing and making you feel happy. And you will know what that means to you. So let's now go ahead, pile number 3, group number 3, and look at what your Namaste Blessing and Divination card says. And you have the Blessing of Patience. A blessing comes disguised as a setback or delay. This card is confirmation that you are on the right path. With patience and perseverance, you will reach your goal. All is accomplished in perfect time. So the blessing of patience, and I feel like that is also connected to, getting rid of the things that don't serve and making space for, you are on the right path. And perhaps we just need to make that little bit of space for those blessings and abundances to come to us. And standing firm with something. I feel like this is really important with this red flag here. Digging our flag in and saying, hey, this is how I feel. So these are the readings that came through for each of our groups today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and discovering what your pile and groups messages were. I thought this would be just something a little bit different that we could do on a Friday when I had time. And hopefully every week I can shake it up a little bit, and like it won't always be, the no, grow, go thing. I will try and shake it up, mix it up, and do all sorts of different things. But I do like the idea of doing the 3 different groups, just so people have something extra to choose from and it's a little bit more interactive. So yeah, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I've got a busy one. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.